story of, I like to tell stories, is that okay? Of kind of where, I've been in a lot of different places doing this Mary Kay thing for 25 years and being in NSD for 22, almost 23 of those 25 years. I feel like I'm at a place now where I have so much more discernment. I have so much more wisdom than I've ever had. And I know when it's time to like roll my sleeves up and go to work. And I really hope that's what you felt if you were in the arena this morning and heard my message. I really believe right now, y'all, and you are the people to do this. Right now, we are on a grassroots level in our company. And I've been teaching this over and over, and when I meet someone that might be interested, and at your level, y'all, you're not just looking to sign somebody up. You're looking for your next leader. So when I'm meeting with someone that I want to be on my team, I'm thinking, I'm interviewing them. They're not interviewing me. And I'm there to get to know them and see how this would fit into their life. But one of my biggest selling points is y'all, our founders, who are amazing, incredible women that built this company. They've retired. People like my mom, people like Pat Fortenberry, they're aged out of retirement now. So I don't know if y'all have awareness of what's happened, is a lot of their directors didn't have a leader. So do y'all think they're directors anymore? So I don't want to be negative, but they're not, because they have no leadership. So what's happened, these people are gone, and all these great legacy leaders, a lot of them, for different reasons, I believe the biggest one is lack of leadership. They've gone on to other things. So what does that mean for all of you? You've got this grassroots company, but yet it's 60 years old. So you can say we're generational. We ain't going anywhere. And we have staying power. So I'm not just going to recruit someone to come in and peddle a little lipstick, although that's okay if one of my consultants wants to get someone like that. I'm looking for who can be my next leader. And now is the time. What I believe we are going to see in the next 20 years, I just told Dave Ann this yesterday, is a shift. We're about to step into a season of plenty. Does anybody know that song, All of a Sudden? It's a Christian song. It's all of a sudden, these blessings are going to start coming on us. So what's happened is, we've got people that have a little knowledge about Mary Kay. Maybe their grandmother did it, maybe their mom did it. Now, we have this wide open market like we have never had before. Because of the retirements and the people that have gone on to do whatever. It doesn't matter. We're not focused on them, we're focused on us, right? And how we can leverage this for our futures. And so when I'm looking, I am like, oh my goodness. I've got to roll my sleeves up and work harder than I've ever been willing to work, because when we do, we are going to build something that will last another 60 years. Now, just to tell you, when I started my journey, we were in a leveling off time, and I didn't know it. I was 23. I didn't know things weren't amazing in Mary Kay, because what? I was sitting at seminar. I was seeing people on stage. Did y'all see the number 3 in her wheelchair? Like, amazing. So that inspired me. So I didn't know any different. So today, first, I want you to get in your mind, because we've all had what? Quitters. We've all had people that are not in the room anymore. Shake it off. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but Shake It Off. Another song. Shake It Off. Shake it off. So shake it off and think, okay, now let's think future forward. Who do you have that's new? Or who can you go get that doesn't know? They don't know where we are. They don't know what's happening. All they know is what you teach them and show them, and you're going to show them how to build a successful business. Because I was shown from day one, and I know we're not supposed to talk about money, but I was shown from day one that if I would go get 5 first-line sales directors, what I was told is if you will build 5 successful directors, your house payment will always be made from what they do. That resonated with me because I was a young person struggling to make a house payment. So what did I tell you? I didn't know anything. So what did I do? Parties. I thought, okay, I'm going to go find these people. Now, one of the things I wrote down, where is it? And this is huge. If you want to be in the NSD kick line, I cry every time we do it. Does anybody just want to be in that NSD kick line so bad? If the party is too small for you, the kick line in the arena is much too big. You have to understand that kick line privilege comes from being at the parties. It comes from seeing the people. It comes from building the relationships. And so I went home as a brand new sales director, and my goal was to build 10 first-line offspring that year. Because I thought if I could do 5 by leadership, and I want y'all to hear me, then I could do 5 more by seminar. That's like me having 2 houses. So I've got enough for my house payment and enough to go to Disney with my kids. Because that was important to me, is to give my kids things. I didn't care about Europe and all these other things. All I want to do is go see Mickey Mouse with my babies. So I thought if I can do this and this, every year this will happen. That was in my mindset. Those are not guaranteed numbers. Don't say Kimberly Copeland said this, that. That's just, I found it to be true in my own life. So when I was queen of sales that year as a brand new director for the Fort Bear area, and you know, she was just like Mary Kay. I sat in the queen's chair, and she said, what's your next goal? I said, Pat, I'm going to build 10 directors. And she has this laugh. Does anybody know Pat? She doesn't like you. Great! She's thinking, oh, this little 24-year-old girl does not know what she's saying. And I told her the next year, we did build 10 first-line directors that year. I told her I was in the queen's chair again in her area as being the #1 unit sales because I built those 10. Do y'all hear me? I made a 6-figure 1099, but what I told her, I said, I could sense you didn't think it was possible, but I'm the type, Pam, I'm going to show you it is. And so you've got to know what motivates you. You've got to know, for me, it's doing more than I even think I can do. But you've got to know, and it's like I said earlier, is you've got to compete with yourself. What is your best? What does doing you look like? And so when I went home, I was booking time with people that I wanted to be at their parties. How did I do that? I said, come over to my house, let's talk. And then I was selling the position of sales director. So ask yourself today, do I strategize building sales directors? Or am I just throwing promos out there, doing this and doing that? That's all fine. You can build great numbers, you can build a great base, you can do lots of production with a lot of promos and all these things. But building leaders is an inside job. Building leaders takes time. To me, building leaders is getting out of our comfort zone, which is so nice. It's so comfortable just being comfortable, right? We can jump on a Zoom, do a weekly meeting, have all these systems in place, y'all. All my directors have them, all these great things. But at the end of the day, do you think that's going to build a sales director? It's not. You have to go spend that quality time with them. I was in living rooms. I had their babies on my laps. I had kids eating hot dogs while we're doing face-to-face marketings with people. I was willing. Now here's why I tell you all that. Because the work I did 25 years ago for 2.5 years solid focus that got me to NSD has carried me. Now, I'm a working national. Do not let me misrepresent. If you know me, I'm going to turn in my Cadillac with about 170,000 miles on it every time. For car services can tell you that. Because I'm up and down the road. I am working. I'm seeing the people, seeing the people, seeing the people. So I believe in being in the field. But that work has carried me in an area for 20 years. Yes, there's times, like I said in my speech, that I had to remotivate. I had to re-enlist. Sometimes say, okay, they're not showing up. I gotta go find some that will. And then maybe they will again, maybe they won't. But I'm going to do what I need to do. And I want to give you permission that it is okay to lose some of the people that we lose. Sometimes they need to go. Sometimes they are literally sucking the life out of you. And you do not want energy vampires in your space. You've got to have people that are bringing the same energy you're bringing. So if you're bringing a lot of great energy and they're not matching it, here's your strategy. Okay, here's a task, let me know when you do it. If they don't call back, they may not be the next one. So sometimes I've invested in someone that just won't do what they say they're going to do. And then sometimes I'll throw them the ball, they're not throwing it back for a while, and then all of a sudden they reach out of the blue. I don't say, oh, goodbye forever. They're ready to play ball again. So then I'm gonna re-enlist them and believe the best in them, even when the worst has been displayed. Because if you work with people very long, you are going to see their worst side. And what I believe is the best leaders are people that are able to let their ego go and say, okay, we're going to move forward from this. And the same mercy that people give me, I want to give them. The same love that people give me, I want to give it back. So getting that as a focus. Now, y'all, when you're building and you're strategizing, I believe, even though my topic is strategizing, I believe you can over-strategize and underwork. I know people that do that. So I am great with strategy, but the strategy is, how many hours am I actually in the field? Not how many hours am I sitting in my living room making plans and making my whiteboard and why not writing all these things down. All those things are important, but they can't substitute for the face-to-face. So what I see too many leaders in Mary Kay do, you take yourself out of the field and become a boss of all these other people. Do this, do that, and you're a great task manager, and I'm not saying that's this room, but if you find yourself without 20 plus new team members a month, that's when you gotta re-strategize. So if you have a goal to do million, or you have a goal to be a national sales director, and I would love to see every single person have a goal to build directors, whether you want to be a national or not. Because if anybody tells you national is not the best place to be in this company, I tell this to my directors all the time, walk away, because they would lie to you about other things too. because I've lived it for 22 years, and there is not a better place to be in this company than National Sales Director. Now, if you've aged out and it's not possible, being a top director is great. You can still have a vision of building leaders. And think about what I said, with 5 directors makes that house payment, 10 directors makes a house payment and a family trip. That will keep me working all the day long. But here's the next question. Do you know why? Do you know why you want what you want? Because if you are constantly just, I want to be a national, I want to be a national, I want to be a national, but you don't really know what the lifestyle is that is going to provide and for you. And I see amazing women in here that have mothers that were nationals. It can't be your mom's story. It has to be your story. And it has to matter to you. Now, I'm going to put Waverly on the spot, and she does not like it when I do this. So here is the thing. Waverly, come up here real quick. So here is the thing. And this is a strategy. This is a John Maxwell certified strategy for helping people receive their why. Okay? And she does not like to do this. So this is my daughter. Give her a big round of applause. Waverly Wismer. How many directors did you build the year you did 1.3 million? 2 years ago. 9 directors. Yes, first, well, it was 8 first line, 1 second. Okay, so who could get excited about that? So this is a way that you help people understand what they're wanting to do. Now, pretend we've never done this before, because we do this a lot. So, Waverly, what is your ultimate Mary Kay goal? Like, you want it worse than anything in Mary Kay. You have to know this answer first for yourself. To be a national. Waverly, why?
Because I want to be able to be at all of my kids' events, never have to worry about money, or just be able to do all the things that I want to be able to provide for my family.
So, why? I'm going to ask you, because that was kind of 2 things in one. Why do you want to make enough money that you're not stressed about money?
Because I want to be able to build our dream house, and be able to do that with financial freedoms where we're not worrying about a house payment. If I'm making enough to be able to do that, I want to be able to take my kids on trips and not worry about how much money's in the bank.
And why do you want to be at your kids' functions? Why does that matter to you?
Because I grew up with a mom who was always there at all my things, and I have friends whose parents had a normal job and they were always able to be at things, so that was something really important to me.
Okay, so thinking about your second answer, why did that matter so much to you as a kid? How did that make you feel growing up that your mom and dad were there?
It always just made me feel really special that no matter what it was, whether it was big or small, that they were always able to be at my things. When, like I said, a lot of my friends never got the opportunity for their parents to be at their things.
And so you want to do that for your kids. So that's a big why for being a national sales director. And then being able to build your dream home. And not be stressed at how you're paying for it. Y'all, she has a $6,000 a month house payment right now. That's pretty high. Yes. So she wants to be able to have a lower house payment, but still and pay things off faster. So why? Why do you want more money where you're not stressing about money?
Because I know how it feels when you're in the in-between and you're not making enough to have to worry about how you're going to make your $6,000 a month house payment. I never want that to be a problem.
So when what does that life look like? Tell them. What does that national sales director life? I know you know work. I know you see that it's not, oh, I've arrived, I'm retired. What would that look like for these ladies in your work?
It would look like a beautiful home in the country where my kids get to grow up and have a home that they come to forever, and their friends. We're the house that, as my kids get older, they want to bring all their friends, and we're the house that is welcoming to all the kids as they're growing up, and we're the family who, like my parents have done for me, get to take us on the most incredible trips. I've made so many memories with my friends because of my mom in this business, and I want to be able to do that for my kids. And as they get older, take my grandkids, just like my mom has, on Disney VIP for days, and it never be that I'm worried about the cost. That I'm just always able to do it.
Do y'all see the difference in the whys? So let's get right there. So as a leader, when you're leading someone, you don't scratch the surface, just like, what's the goal? You know, that's what most people do, and they don't get down to the heart. Did y'all feel her?
Yeah.
Do you believe she will do it? I do. Because she knows why she is doing it. So you can have every strategy under the sun, but if you don't know your own, why am I doing this? When the quitters come, when things change, seminar moves, all these things, it gets real easy to be negative. Or, oh, I'm not going to go this year. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I really didn't want that national thing. They don't even have real jackets. Look, this is the kind of things people say that want to start making up excuses, right? And when you are resolved that I'm doing this for my family, your reasons may look totally different than Waverly's, and that's okay. But I would urge you to do that exercise of knowing what this big, huge goal that you have of building leaders is going to lead you to. And then when you're working with people, it is a way that you really can understand people better. And you're able to motivate, you're able to inspire them, you're able to push them to their dreams a lot better. So I could use Waverly for instance. So if I understand that's her heart, and let's say one of her kids has a really big event in the middle of something I'm having, do you think it's going to serve me well to force her to come to my event over going to her family function? No. It's not going to serve her heart well, and it's not going to serve my heart well. So I have to, and this is strategy that a lot of people never get, because they just think you have to be in the room, and you have to show up, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. Y'all, we are all different people. And when you lead with love, that's the number one thing on my list. The love you have for the individual matters so much more than the goal. At one point in time, Miss B was almost a national. She's almost national right now. She will be a national this time. But a few years ago, we were close. And I was coming down to her all the time. We were working, but things were not lining up. Have you ever been there? It was, we had the people, they weren't the right people. But we were kind of forcing it. And I'm sure none of y'all have ever done that. We wanted it so bad. You know, we just wanted it. So we're like, we're doing this, we're doing this. And it got to a place that I had to set her down and say, Missy, because I love you, this is not the time. You've got to go back over here, and you need to spend some more time with your husband, your family. This isn't your season. And then when these things are ironed out, let's go back and rebuild it. Because I said, you can't get to national and we've lost these things. I couldn't sleep at night if that's where we're headed. So we got to realign some things. And the thing is, she knew I loved her. So she went, fixed some things over here, and now here she is, twice as strong in NIQ this time. And it was okay that we lost some of these people that didn't need to be with us. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? But sometimes, y'all, we've got to get down to our own guts and say, okay, am I leading for me or am I leading for them? And when you can understand that if it's bad for them, it might be good for you for this long, but I can promise you long term, it will not be good for you. Because if it is not aligning, and I believe this from the top of my head to the tips of my toes, with God, family, career, women will never be happy. Mary Kay knew that. And so we've got to be knowing, and we've got to have that heartbeat. But if we're sitting behind a Zoom, and we're sitting saying, do this promo, do this, do that, and we're like, they're not doing it. I don't know why I'm not having new offspring. Well, the strategy's got to be, okay, where's my list? Who am I leaving here and getting with? Do I have time to tell one more story? I know I'm out of time. Okay. I actually have two quick things to tell you. The year I became a national, I had had some fallout. We were 6 months away, and I was, well, we were 8 months. We were 9 months away. I thought we were 6 months, but we were 9 months. I was tired. I wanted it done. And Waverly, my daughter, was in the hospital with scarlet fever. She was very sick. I just had 3 first-line offspring. And December came, she got sick, and I had the most pitiful month I've ever had, and I had 27 people in my unit. I had lots of offspring, but I was down to 27, okay, because I just had 90 people pull out. Y'all with me? And I was the #1 director of Pat's area. I had to come speak. And I called Pat. I said, I can't speak. I just did $10,000. I'm so embarrassed. She's like, Kimberly, yes, you can. You have 3 offspring, blah, blah, blah. I said, I can't stand up there with 27 people in my unit. This is pity. I cannot do this. And she said, yes, we need you, we need you. And when I got there, I can remember I was crying from the stage because, y'all, I needed 4 more personal first line, and I did not know where they were going to come from with 27 people. And I have tears in my eyes saying, I just need one more wave. Charles told me, one more wave, Kimberly, you can do this. I had $5,000 on the computer. We had 3 days left in the month when I arrived home. Before I went home, and here's your strategy, I reached out to 5 people out of the 27 and said, I need you to come to my house. Back then we had paper profiles. Bring your profiles. I want to go through them. They all came to my house on a Sunday. While I was gone, I said, I'm bringing you stuff from San Diego if you'll have 10 appointments on the books. They did not have one single thing on the books. So do you think, in reality, they looked like they were my people? No. But here's what I knew. I could build them if I could just show them that people wanted to book. Now, old timers, not Pat, because Pat just said, do what you do, you're good at it. Don't listen to anybody else. Old timers told me you're making them weak by helping them this much. They are weak. They don't know what to do. They're scared to death to book. So, you know, I was good at it. So I got them to my house. Guess what? I started calling their people. We set up within that 3-day period, we called them interviews back then, you know, sharing the marketing plan. Interview after interview after interview after interview. I went from 5,000 to 42,000 wholesale in 3 days and had 4 new DIQs. Now, did they all finish? No. But 2 did. And then I did this again. And I did it again. And then that year we went into NIQ on August 1. And August, September, October, November, I debuted December 1 as a brand new national, doing this over and over and over again. And Waverly was a little tiny child, and I put her in the car seat, and she went with me to McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. She would play, and I would recruit people. And so get in your mind, what do you need to do that you've been resisting? Then, y'all, for years I had this amazing area, and do you ever wake up and go, oh, what's happened? Where are all my people? What's going on? That happened to me, and this is my last story, and I'll end with this, about 16 years ago. And I was in a place where I had a lot of people fall off. I had a low number of directors, and I was like, okay, if it's to be, it's up to who. And I was in a national suit, and I started doing food, fun, and facials at my house on Monday nights, me and one of my directors. The first week, I had one guest, she had one guest. We recruited both guests, both those girls became directors. Then they would bring guests. Before long, we went literally from 1 or 2 guests sitting at my kitchen table, feeding them lasagna on Monday nights, showing them product, selling, and signing them up, to 100 people in my living room. I kid you not, by the time Maverick was born. Then we had to move to a country club. We would start having 200 people. We ended up at the Pizza Hut Park in Frisco with 500 people a week at my meetings within a 2-year time span. And that's when I went from nobody showing up for me to, I don't care what they're doing. If it's to be, it's up to me. So I want to go back to this to close. Do you know your why? If you haven't done that 5 degrees of, but why? Why do I want this position? Why do I want to be a $1 million director? Why do I want to build leaders? And then break that down. And when you answer that question, I would say before you go home, you need to do this for yourself. Because if your dream is not worth it, you're not going to leave them for their dream to be worth it. It's got to be more than just, oh, I'm just carrying this on, this is the way I make money. I feel like this class, you are the people that can shake up this company if you choose to. But you've got to go, okay, now who do I call before I go home that could be my next? Who is going to be my next leader? I'm going to go meet them for coffee. I'm going to go meet them for dinner. I'm going to go take them and their husband to a 5-star restaurant and show them what the lifestyle they can have when their wife does this. And you know what I do? I show people the money. Here's our pay structure. Here's how you get paid as a consultant. Here's how you get paid as a director. Which is better for you? It's better for me if you're getting paid the most. You know why? Because you're going to be the happiest. And you're going to want to help other people get that. So if you want the great big picture, you've got an assignment. Do your why. Who are you talking to before you get on that plane that are going to be your next leaders? I always like to say choose 4 to 5. If I can pick 5 people out of 27 that were leftovers, y'all know what I mean? It was like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? I wasn't paying attention. I was so excited. I went 3 Street. This is so amazing. And all of a sudden I had 27 people. If I can take 27 people, and really 5, we had 4 that did DIQ, and rebuild back up, you can too. Because I don't have anything you don't have. I just have the heart to go sit with the people as long as it takes. I'm not in a hurry. I have the heart to be there through the ups and the downs and not quit. And y'all, what I know is when your dream is big enough, you're willing to take the little steps to get where you want to be. Thank y'all so much.